A damp chill clings to the night air as the camera drifts over empty suburban streets, the glow of porch lights flickering like small, nervous hearts. Somewhere out there, an envelope waits on a kitchen table or a dusty police desk, its edges yellowing, its words cut deep enough to scar a lifetime. These are not love letters or idle ramblings. These are the chilling letters of America's uncaught killers, messages of pride, of taunt, of cold and calculating menace. It begins in 1969, San Francisco. The city hums with late 60s counterculture, but in the newsroom of the San Francisco Chronicle, a very different voice slips through the mail slot. 3 nearly identical letters arrive at 3 different newspapers. Each carries a cipher and a threat. Solve this code, or more will die. The writer calls himself the Zodiac. His script is tight and deliberate, his words a sneer. "This is the Zodiac speaking," he begins as if announcing himself to history. Within weeks, he has murdered a young couple on a lover's lane and a cab driver in the heart of the city. His letters, full of cryptic symbols and mocking puzzles, become the soundtrack of a city gripped by fear. Detectives pore over ciphers by lamplight, linguists debate every stroke of every symbol. But the man who signed those letters simply fades into the fog. Decades later, the mystery remains, his final mocking words still echoing, "I am waiting for a good movie about me." From California, we move to New York in the sweltering summer of 1977. The city is already frayed by blackout and crime when another letter arrives. This one addressed to NYPD Captain Joseph Borelli. Its salutation is almost polite. "Hello from the gutters of New York City." The writer calls himself Son of Sam. He describes his thirst for blood as if it were an everyday appetite. David Berkowitz will eventually be caught, but for months his letters terrify a city already on edge. He writes of demons and commands, claiming a possessed dog ordered the killings. Even after his capture, his letters retain their eerie blend of confession and performance. A killer who understood that fear could be spread with words as easily as bullets. The letters are not always the work of men who become famous. In 1978, in the quiet academic corridors of American universities, a bomber begins a 17-year reign of terror. Before each device explodes, a manifesto arrives. Industrial Society and Its Future. The author is a recluse named Theodore Kaczynski, the Unabomber. He writes with the precision of a scholar, railing against technology and modern life. These are not the manic ramblings of an unhinged mind. They are carefully argued, disturbingly persuasive. His words force the nation to read the thoughts of a killer who believed he was saving humanity by destroying it. His capture in a Montana cabin reveals a man whose greatest weapon may have been his intellect and his pen. Sometimes the letters come from ghosts. In 1976, residents of Circleville, Ohio, start receiving poison-inked notes accusing them of dark secrets, affairs, crimes, hidden betrayals. The letters predict deaths, warn of retribution, and seem to know every private corner of the small town. One woman's husband dies in a suspicious accident after the letters accuse her of infidelity. Paul Freshour, a local man, is convicted of sending them. Yet even while he is in prison, new letters arrive. Yet decades later, the true author remains unknown. The Circleville letters are a reminder that the line between crime and rumor can blur until fear itself becomes the weapon. And then there is the I-45 corridor in Texas, the long stretch of highway known as the Killing Fields. For decades, young women disappear there, their bodies later found in fields of tall grass. In the early 1990s, police receive anonymous letters describing scenes only the killer could know, small, chilling details about the victim's last moments. The handwriting is smooth, almost elegant. No name, no return address. Each clue leads nowhere. Families read those words and realize someone out there is writing the last chapters of their daughters' lives. What binds these stories is not just murder, but communication. Each letter is an intrusion, a deliberate crossing of the line between hunter and hunted. The killers write because they crave acknowledgement. They write to prove they exist, to keep their crimes alive. Their words are fingerprints more haunting than any found in a lab. Detectives chase the paper trail. Handwriting analysts measure slants and loops. Linguists count syllables. Cryptographers break codes. Sometimes the letters lead to arrests. Berkowitz bragged too often. Kaczynski's brother recognized the cadence of his prose. But other times, the writers remain phantoms. The Zodiac's ciphers still taunt experts. The Circleville writer's secrets still rot in someone's desk drawer. And the letters from Texas remain unsigned confessions, scattered like seeds of unease. A retired FBI profiler once said, "Letters are intimacy. They bring the killer into your home without breaking a window. Each envelope opens like a slow exhale of dread. The message is always the same. I am out there. I am watching, and I want you to know." To this day, boxes of these letters rest in evidence rooms, their paper yellowing, ink fading, but the fear still sharp. They are reminders that evil doesn't always hide in silence. Sometimes it writes to us. If stories like this keep you hooked, hit subscribe for more.